believe in anything I say. No, don't go believing me. No, don't listen to me, don't take any notice. Don't listen to anything that I say. Thank you.
To those living in Bolton and Blackburn, I'm very sorry that you're once again suffering from this virus, and I know how hard it has been for you, having been in a form of national or local lockdown for longer than almost anywhere else.
One such symptom is doing rounds in hospitals across India, and it is called mucormycosis, better known as a black fungal infection.
Now, at the moment, there's a very wide range of scientific opinion about what could happen.
While the news of the symptom has sparked widespread alarm, it is important to understand that it doesn't affect everyone.
But now it's more vital than ever that you play your part.
The latest data shows the variant is dominant here, albeit in low numbers. The latest data shows the variant is dominant here, albeit in low numbers, albeit in low numbers, albeit in low numbers.
Prior to the pandemic, the infection was very rare, but the sudden rise can be attributed to multiple factors. One is the use of steroids among COVID-19 patients.
And may be more infectious than the Kent strain, which caused the UK's winter peak. Confirmed cases of the Indian variant have risen from 520 to 1,313 in a week, to 1,313 in a week, to 1,313 in a week. While the new variant cases are rising in hotspot areas, there's been no impact on hospitalisations, deaths, or an obvious failure of vaccines, or an obvious failure of vaccines, or an obvious failure of vaccines. With evidence now that the India variant may be more transmissible than even the Kent strain, scientists monitoring its spread say opening up now is riskier than it was. London has the most cases, but they're more concentrated in parts of the northwest. London has the most cases, but they're more concentrated in parts of the northwest. London has the most cases, London has the most cases, London has the most cases, London has the most cases. The government SAGE committee met today to decide what tactics, if any, need changing.
We're able to spot stuff really very fast. And so what we're trying to say at this press conference is that we do see a real risk of disruption in the new variant. If we do have to do other things, then of course I think that the public would want us at this stage to rule nothing out.
Raid, pillage, plunder and otherwise pilfer our Weasley black guts out.
I said no lies. If he were telling the truth, he wouldn't have told us.
Unless of course he knew you wouldn't believe the truth even if he told it to you.
And we've always been very clear that we'll be led by the data.
The United Kingdom will host the G7 summit and lead the global effort to secure a robust human suffering, a robust human suffering, a robust human suffering.
And why is it suddenly being reported in COVID-19 survivors? According to the US's CDC, it is most common among diabetic patients. So what are the symptoms? It ranges from a headache to even nasal congestion. Patients typically have a stuffy and bleeding nose, swelling and pain in the eyes, the drooping of eyelids, and often loss of vision. If diagnosed late, it even has a mortality rate of around 50%.
Citizens can lose faith more quickly than anything else, especially when their belief is manipulated. When their opinions are shaped through fear for their future, then they listen to men with quick fixes.
Well, there are a range of things that we could do. We want to make sure that we grip it.
Local lockdowns.
Surge testing.
Local lockdowns.
Surge tracing.
Local lockdowns.
Surge testing.
Surging vaccine supplies.
Local lockdowns.
Surge tracing.
I have to say we'll go down like a lead balloon here because they didn't work last year.
But we want to make sure that we take all the prudential all the cautious steps now that we could take. So there are meetings going on today to consider exactly what we need to do.
The black fungal infection is being triggered by the use of steroids. Exposure to wet surfaces also increases the chances of infection.
There's a range of things that we could do. We're ruling nothing out, of course.
Raid, pillage, plunder and otherwise pilfer our Weasley black guts out.
The top Indian doctors have attributed the rise of the infections to steroid overuse.
As I say, at the moment I can see nothing that dissuades me from thinking we'll be able to go ahead on Monday and indeed on June the 21st. I can see everywhere.
The government has ruled out any change to Monday's easing of restrictions, but now faces the possibility that it could lead to more infections than previously believed. We
think that on balance, it's right to proceed with the current plans, given the very low numbers, given the fact that hospitalizations are not rising.
While it has been observed among recorded COVID-19 patients, it mostly affects immunocompromised patients, those with diseases like diabetes, cancer and others.
As we move away from living our lives by government rules,
I'm talking about passion. Do you know what that word meant originally? Suffering. The way you get your own spirit through your own suffering. Self-chosen, self-made.
And we will certainly be making sure that people going to travelling abroad will be subject to
suffering.
All the tests and
suffering
and constraints that
suffering
that people would expect to
suffering
prevent the virus being re-imported. I want to stress again, we take nothing off the table.
Raid, pillage, plunder, and otherwise pilfer my Weasley black guts out.
As a means of controlling this virus and this variant, and we
raid, pillage, plunder, and otherwise pilfer my Weasley black guts out.
We'll do whatever it takes to keep you all safe.
A robust inhuman suffering.
Suffering.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Quick, Skyper, before I have to say anything else. Quick.